Hey everybody, Nat Daddy here, and let's go over the weekly comic book review for Friday, July 11th. Got about 20 books here, a lot of good stuff here, a lot of great independent stuff, and a few things that are definitely Superman movie related as well. But let's jump into it. First off, starting one of our great indie books, the sequel to last year's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is called The Rite of Spring. This is 8 years after the end of the last series, and there is a female duck here who is looking for her brother who was murdered those 8 years ago by the bear lady there. This is kind of like Dexter meets Richard Scarry kind of animation or drawing wise, but it has all these cute and kind of friendly looking animals that are actually pretty horrific stuff going on. It's a small town with this bear who is a female serial killer, and she has managed to keep it secret so far all these years, but this woman who showed up in her town because she's looking for her brother. So neat start to that series so far. If you enjoyed the first one, look into this one. It's pretty good. Coming off of the miniseries, there is now going to be an ongoing series from Ahoy Comics, The Toxic Avenger. Kind of a fun book. I enjoyed the miniseries. You got 3 stories in here, all based out of like Traumaville, where the accident happened with all the toxic waste, creating Toxie, the hero here, and some of his friends and teammates in that. This one here again is just more silly nonsense. Pretty gross, vile stuff going on here in that. Kind of horrific. But yeah, fun if you've liked the miniseries so far, or if you're curious about maybe what's going to happen in the upcoming movie. You can definitely check this out. But it is kind of gory and silly in that. So, and it looks like they're going to be having a Crusaders comic coming out soon as well. Coming out this week, we've already covered this a few weeks ago when we interviewed Ed Brisson, but this is The Wild Animals from Mad Cave. It's about a young guy, kind of in his 20s. He's had a pretty crappy life the last few years. His mom's dying in the hospital. He's all scarred up because his dad burned him with hot oil during a domestic dispute when he was a young kid in that. We see it all happening here. And also not only that, his dad died as a result of that too. So he works in a convenience store. It's pretty crappy life there. Even the kids in the neighborhood steal from him and beat up on him in that as well too. So he gets no respect. Life's totally crapping on him. His mom dies. Gets kicked out of his apartment basically because can't afford anything in that. And the people who caused all this issues in the first place, the crooked cops, are getting away with it. So he kind of loses it at his job with these kids and that, and now he's kind of going on this nothing to lose revenge tour. So see what happens there. Great start so far. And if you want to hear more about that, like I said, go check out the Ed Brisson interview we did a couple weeks ago. All right, one of the crossovers I thought I'd never see. We have Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob. Archie's had some pretty weird crossovers over the years. Archie and the Predator, Archie and the Turtles, Archie and the Punisher. So there's been some weird stuff for sure. Here we have the Quick Stop grocery place, the grocery store or convenience store from Clerks, and it's looking for some new help. So they hire on Archie Andrews. And Archie ends up coming in working for these guys. And it's the crew from Clerks there. So they're rude and crude and just what we all expect. And Archie's very, very clean, and he seems kind of blown away by a lot of the stuff that goes on in here. So it's fun. It's a little bit more risque than your kind of normal average Archie comic, but it's pretty cool here. And of course it's written by Kevin Smith as well. So nice artwork as well. So if you're looking for some kind of Kevin Smith, definitely Fiend, Clerks, Archie fun, this is it for you. I enjoyed it a lot. We have the second issue of Blood Type from EC Comics, Oni Press doing this. It's been a lot of fun so far. We have this vampire woman who has set up on this kind of resort island there, and she's slowly feeding off some of the resort people in that. It's been good. I like the artwork here. It does have a little bit of a creepiness in that to it, and it definitely still feels like it has that EC horror feel to it. But it's nice to see kind of a first ongoing series, kind of like an EC horror thing, compared to just the normal bunch of stories kind of thing. So I'm enjoying this so far. We have a new issue of Fantastic Four starting up. Of course, they have to reboot it with the movie coming out pretty soon. And this is all right. I like the artwork on here. It's Ramos. Ramos has always been a favorite of mine. And here we have a pretty simple start here. We have the Fantastic Four taking on Doom, and he is Emperor Doom here, so this kind of take place during this whole One World Under Doom thing going on right now. And as soon as he starts fighting them, they all get separated. Doom sends them all to different places in time, and then the four have to try to find their way back. So it was fun so far. I don't know if it really had to be a number one. I think it would have been fine. It still has the legacy numbering in there and that. But like I said, we got some pretty good art here for Ramos, and it looks like the beginning of a pretty decent Doom Fantastic Four time travel tale. So, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, or if you've been reading the ongoing series, you'll probably pick that up. First issue of a new series here from Marvel. We have Predator, Black, White, and Blood. We've seen this done for a lot of different products. The black, white, and whatever color. A lot of time it's red, black, white, and green with turtles, all kinds of things. So here we got 3 stories in here, all pertaining to predators, and they're pretty fun. I must say I enjoyed them. The first one here is about a predator that's been captured kind of out in the outback, and they do kind of like pit fighting and that with him. So that's kind of a neat story there. Second one, more of a story about kind of medieval night times and the predator. So that one's kind of neat too. I like the artwork in here. It kind of has like that creepy kind of swords and sorcery type of feel to it. And the third one's pretty cool. It's about a weapons convention that's going on, and a predator goes in there to check out all the weapons and ends up taking out everybody because they all have weapons. So that's a good one as well too. If you're a Predator fan and just looking for some fun Predator anthology stuff, that'll definitely cure your taste. From Mad Cave, we have this fun series I've been enjoying, issue 3 so far of The Slasher's Apprentice. It's about this young woman who has finally tracked down and befriended and convinced a longtime serial killer to let her be his apprentice and help him get popular again, because he was the great slasher in the 80s. He's kind of lost some of his pizzazz in that. Now he's not that popular. So she's going to teach him how to become popular again, and they kind of make up a new game plan and start acting it out here. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of neat, but it's kind of fun too. Lots of neat action. We're going to see if this buddy partnership works between a serial killer and this really obsessed fan. From Mad Cave. A new one from Image. We have first issue of a book called The Unchosen. I really like the artwork in here. It has that manga feel to it. Very colorful and very smooth. It's about a girl who ends up waking up in the crater of the middle of the city, and it looks like that she is the reason from all that. So she's been kind of, kind of scooped up by this school that's going to teach her how to deal with all these powers and that. So kind of has a Xavier School for Mutants type of feel, or a Hogwarts Harry Potter type of feel. But I'm liking it so far. Like I said, great artwork in here, lots of action, and obviously with her being kind of one of these chosen students, they're going to have people out there trying to get them. So it's neat. Kind of like ninjas and magic kind of mixed together. we have issue 22 from the Transformers from Image. This is that Energon universe where it's the G.I. Joes and the Transformers universes combined. There's only going to be 2 more issues of this one by Daniel Warren Johnson, and then Robert Kirkman's going to be picking up the writing here. But it's pretty cool. We have Optimus here that's pretty much dying in that, and Spike reaches into the Matrix with him to help him either figure out what's going to happen, whether he's going to die or he's going to pass on or whatever. On Cybertron, we see that they've managed to get the bridge open again, and they have enough power for one person to go through, and it ends up being Shredhead. Like I said, Optimus is passing away here, and he does use his last bit of energy to expel the Matrix, and again, Spike hooks into it and kind of like bridges him over to this, I guess the land where the Matrix is, kind of like a dreamscape. And we see the Decepticons again attacking more and more bases and cities and that, trying to wipe out the world and take over. So we're getting up to be the final combative conclusion to this story arc. There's lots of consequences going on. So this has been action-packed and a great read. Hopefully it stays like that after the next couple issues and it changes to Kirkman writing it. From Marvel, we have issue 2 of Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. This is where the new Ultimate Universe has been, visited by Miles Morales and his sister. His sister got sucked into there, and she's landed in Wakanda, and Miles is trying to get to her and bring her back in that. He's working with the Ultimates, Wasp and Giant Man, and they're on the way over to Wakanda to try and get Billy back. So obviously Wakanda and this Ultimate Universe sees the Ultimates as terrorists and that, so they do have an issue with them landing and trying to figure out what's going on with all this multiversal stuff here. So pretty good read so far. If you've been enjoying the new Ultimate stuff there, the Ultimate Black Panther and the Ultimates themselves, this is pretty good, and it's a good way to continue on with it. Latest issue of Absolute Superman, this is issue 9. The Omega Men have been kind of chasing Superman this whole time, and they've got him now. They're taking care of him because he was shot last time with those Krypton bullets from the Lazarus group. And they're slowly convincing him to see that their side is, they're not the bad guys and the terrorists that they're made out to be. They do have some mother box technology. They call it the father box right now. And they don't know how to use it in that, and they end up just kind of turning it on Superman to help heal him in that. So all this is going on. Lois is back at the Lazarus base being questioned by Ra's al Ghul and that as well too. So lots of moving parts going on here, and it's all leading up to its big conclusion, which is going to be pretty awesome, I think. So more and more of this Omega Man stuff coming out. This has been a great read so far. From Action Comics, we got the next part of the chapter, them going back, that seems to be Superboy stories for a little bit. I've been liking this so far. Good Superboy stories always needed once in a while, again with the movie and that going on. But we have Superboy here, just going to school, learning to be Superboy. He's gone to Metropolis once, had a little bit of an adventure. Now he's starting high school here, so kind of tough to be joining high school when you've never been to high school before, and no matter what age you are, and even especially when you're developing your Superboy powers. So pretty good read so far. Mark Waid back doing a great job. Issue 8 of Batman Dark Patterns. I've been really liking this book so far. Like I said, I think this is probably the best Batman book out there. Right now in this book, we have Batman investigating all this Red Hood stuff that's going on in the Rookery. They found a burned woman in a dryer, and he's trying to see how that all connects to the Red Hood as well too. Some of the Red Hood stuff's going back decades even in that. While investigating, he actually does get shot while trying to figure this all out, and was having to deal with this guy who again was a Red Hood, and is just doing this killing in that right now just to keep the name of the Red Hood gang along. So pretty good series so far. I like Danny Waters doing the writing and Hayden Sherman doing the art. This is one of the little bit slower issues so far, but the other ones have all been great. Another Batman and Robin book that I've been really enjoying. This is the one that they're doing with Memento. Memento's been around, seems like for decades, if not hundreds of years, and he's managed to kind of kidnap and kind of corrupt Robin into contemplating his life. So Batman has gone to the demon Etrigan to figure out and finally, get all this information about this Memento, and it turns out Memento is a demon, much like Etrigan himself, who needs a host body, and that's how he's always been around all these years, causing all these murders in different times in that. So they finally do manage to track him down into the sewers, and now Batman is trying to free Robin and these other kids that are down there as well from this kind of demon Memento person. So it's been a great read. I'm really liking this, and after this storyline ends, I don't know if they're actually going to end this series or go on or what, but it's been good so far. From Dynamite, doing a great job of rebooting all these older IPs. Space Ghost. This has been a great book. I really like this one. This one and the Thundercats as well. We see that the kind of like a Legion of Doom of all these Space Ghost enemies have ganged up, and they've attacked Space Ghost and managed to hurt him pretty badly. The Space Monkey's been kidnapped. They're going to be doing experiments on them. And now the two kids, Jan and Jace, are trying to, get Space Ghost somewhat healed and that, so they can help form a game plan and continue on here. So lots of great action always in here. And these guys have actually managed to set a bomb that's going to make the planet explode. So now they're having the same issues that all supervillains do, working together, not trusting each other, each having their own agendas, and now they've got the planet blowing up and Space Ghost to deal with as well, who's really, really wounded and weak. So I really like this series a lot, and we'll see what happens in the next issue. Lots of action always in those. Issue 3 of this new Supergirl series by Sophie Campbell. Been enjoying it a lot. I like the artwork as well too. Supergirl has gone back to Midvale, where she's from originally, and someone has kind of stole her identity out there. They've replaced her secret identity out there, and they've also taken over her identity as Supergirl out there. And this girl here is in the purple here. She is from Kandor as well. She's a teenage girl that is kind of, just not doing the right thing at the right moment. So she has escaped there, and now she has kind of, like I said, stolen her Supergirl's identity and convinced the world that the real Supergirl is a fake. And in this issue here, she uses a black kryptonite ray on her to turn Supergirl into Satan Girl, and same with Krypto too. So going through town, causing all the issues, is kind of like this evil version of Supergirl. So yeah, really enjoying this series a lot. I'm liking it. Really like the artwork here. It's great. Kind of a little bit of sexiness in that to it without too much. And it just shows that Supergirl and supervillains of Supergirl can be powerful and popular too. Superman Treasury 2025 Hero for All. Again, more stuff related to the Superman movie. This stuff here is, you can't tell in this because I'm reading it digitally, but this book here is actually Treasury size, so like it says there. And just the good Superman stories in here from Dan Jurgens. You got this big space armada that's taking over the world, and they managed to contain Superman for a little while, and the rest of the DC universe is trying to deal with this alien attack and getting their butts kicked pretty good. Being a treasury size, they got lots of page space to work with for art, and being a larger size book, they got a little bit more pages to work with story wise. So we see lots of Superman's history in that in here as well. Superman, like you said, does get captured, and they put him kind of like in a dream stasis type of thing. So of course he relives everything in his brain and that. So perfect tie into the movie, being a treasury size in that as well. And eventually he breaks out of that and overcomes the aliens with the rest of the help of the DC universe there. So good read. Fun to read if you want to check out. Again, being treasury size as well too. So, and lastly, a book I don't normally read, The Uncanny X-Men, but I wanted to check it out because I heard they were making a little bit of a big deal about this new character showing up in here called Mutina. She is a mutant, kind of slasher horror person, and she's causing a kerfuffle in the mutant universe, and the X-Men don't like it because of this movie. It's coming out, and I think it's called Murder Me Mutina, and it's about this slasher mutant killer, and just it's causing mutant hate in the community and that. So they just want to go and deal with it. Saying if this is really necessary because it's creating this animosity within the mutant community and that. And it's going to happen, and it looks like that this character really is a mutant and maybe going to be a formidable enemy of some sort in the future. So it ended very, very fast too, just kind of stopped. So I'm not sure if that's how it is normally in the Ultimate X-Men right now, the Uncanny X-Men. But it seems like a neat character, but it seems like it was very kind of rushed story there as well. All right, that's what I read this week for Friday, July 11th. Lots of great indie books in here. Hope you enjoyed some of these, and maybe you weren't aware of some of these, and you'll go check these out and support all these great creators and your local LC. Until next time, we'll see you later with more reviews.